This book is called Mr. Bubblegum. It was written by William H. Hooks and was illustrated by Paul Meisel. Mr. Bubblegum is a story about a little brother. It has an introduction and 3 very short chapters. William Hooks, who wrote the story, is from New York City, and Paul Meisel, who did the drawings, is from Connecticut. Eli. My brother Eli is 5 years old. I call him Mr. Bubblegum. Mr. Bubble for short. Because he sticks to me like gum. I can't get rid of him. Mom thinks Mr. Bubblegum is a cute name, but Eli is a real pain. I look after him for 1 hour every afternoon while Mom, just keep an eye on him, she says. And I say, very funny, Mom. Eli sticks to me like bubble gum. Bolo Cola. One day last summer, my friend Roberta and I were inventing a new soft drink. I hope it tastes as good as Bolo Cola, I said. Did you know that nobody knows what's inside Bolo Cola? Asked Roberta. That's silly, I said. If nobody knows, how do they keep making it? Simple, answered Roberta. They break up the recipe. One plant puts in the juice. The next plant puts in a secret flavor. Another plant adds the color. Every plant adds a little bit to the Bolo Cola recipe. Maybe we should keep our drink a secret too, I said. Okay, said Roberta. First, we mixed cherry juice and prune juice. It looked a lot like Bolo Cola. Try it, I told Roberta. Oh, yuck, said Roberta. Too sweet. All right, I said. I added some vinegar. That helped. It's flat, said Roberta. It needs some fizz. All right, I said. I dumped in some baking soda. Wow! How did I know that vinegar and soda erupt like a volcano when you mix them together? Our new drink boiled over the pot. It ran across the table. It poured over the side. And just then, Mr. Bubble's head popped out from under the table. Splat! He got it all over his head. Eli howled. Ow, 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 ow! Mom came running. She slipped on the wet floor and slid right under the table. Eli wasn't really hurt, but the kitchen was a mess. Oh, and was Mom mad. If Mr. Bubble had been sticking to the television instead of sticking to me, this never would have happened. Sometimes Eli is worse than bubblegum. Sometimes he's more like super glue. The Pumpkin Head. On Halloween, I got stuck with Mr. Bubblegum again. Keep an eye on him, Mom said. And maybe you'd better keep a hand on him, too, she added. Eli was wearing a paper pumpkin head with the eyes, nose, and mouth cut out. The rest of his costume was an old sheet. He was a kind of pumpkin ghost, I guess. On the first block, I saw 3 other pumpkin heads. By the time Roberta joined us, there were 6 pumpkin heads running up and down the street. I think every little kid in town is wearing a pumpkin head, I said. They were giving them away at the Piggly Wiggly supermarket, said Roberta. What are you? I asked Roberta. Don't you know Count Dracula when you see him? You could have fooled me, I said. Roberta popped a set of fangs into her mouth. "How about now?" she asked. "Now you look like you need braces," I said. I was wrapped from head to toe in 5 rolls of white toilet paper. It wasn't hard to guess who I was, but I asked anyway. "Who am I?" "Count Dracula's best friend, the mummy," answered Roberta. We both laughed so hard that Roberta lost her fangs. "Hey, where's your bubble gum?" asked Roberta. I looked around. I didn't see Eli anywhere. Then ahead I saw 3 pumpkin heads. Roberta and I ran to them. Eli was not under any of the pumpkins. "He can't be far," I said. We found 2 more pumpkin heads. They were both girls. It was getting dark. I was beginning to get angry and a little scared, too. Any other time, Eli would be right there, sticking to me like bubble gum on the bottom of my shoes. Now he was really missing. Witches and ghosts kept running by, yelling, "Trick or treat!" They were having fun. Not me. I felt terrible. It was the worst Halloween ever. Roberta said, "Maybe we should tell your mom." I said, I can't go home without Eli. What will she think?" Roberta said, "I think you'd better go tell her." We started walking home. I was hoping every step of the way to see a pumpkin head, one with Eli under it. Once I thought someone was following us. I looked back, but it was only a kid with a monster mask. We got all the way home without seeing any more pumpkin heads. The monster was still behind us. I stood in front of our house thinking of a way to tell Mom Eli was missing. "Are you going in?" asked Roberta. Suddenly, the monster pulled on my arm and said, "Trick or treat." "Go away," I yelled. He didn't. Then something clicked. I lifted the mask, and there was Eli, grinning just like a pumpkin. "Where did you get that monster mask?" I yelled. "Traded," said Eli. I couldn't help myself. I hugged him right in front of Roberta. "You stuck to me after all," I said. "Good old bubblegum." The rescue. The week after Halloween, I was going to Roberta's house. Eli wanted to come. I said, "No, Mr. Bubblegum, you're sticking somewhere else for a few hours. Roberta and I are working on a skateboard with a steering wheel." Roberta said a steering wheel would save a lot of hurt knees. "Keep your eyes open for a wheel," Roberta told me. So when I saw a wheel right in the middle of a vacant lot, I ran to get it. Oh, ouch! I fell into a hole. My ankle hurt so much that all I could do was lie there and cry. No one was on the street that day. I lay there thinking all kinds of things. Maybe Roberta will come looking for me when I don't show up. Maybe a helicopter will fly over and spot me. Maybe a dog will come by and bark, woo, 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 until someone notices. Maybe I'll just lie here until it gets dark. Will Mom send a search party with flashlights to look for me? Then I heard someone shouting, There, over by the wheel." I sat up. Oh, Mr. Bubble was pulling Mom along the street. He was pointing right at me. Mr. Bubble had followed me. Eli is getting smarter. He isn't sticking as close as he used to, but he was close enough to see me fall, and he was sharp enough to go for help. That was the day I called him Eli instead of Mr. Bubble, when I thanked him for saving my life. The end. Mr. Bubblegum is a book that's part of the Bank Street Ready to Read series. These are all picture books for young learners who are getting ready to read or practicing their reading and getting better at reading. This book about two brothers has been Mr. Bubblegum, written by William H. Hooks, illustrated by Paul Meisel.